Recovery is something that some say was given to mental health from the addictions field. And it is something that mental health can give to the rest of healthcare. Recovery is that realization that you are not a victim. And what is a victim? A victim is someone who is paralyzed by some circumstance. A victim is someone who has been rendered helpless and hopeless by some set of circumstances. And you are not helpless, and certainly not hopeless. And so we are not victims of mental illness. We have faced challenges, but the worst thing in life is not to fall down. It's to stay down.
That's it.
So recovery is about getting up.
That's right.
And that's the message that we bring forward to people to help them understand that mental illness is not something that creates victims, but it is something from which we recover and get up. Recovery is based on something even more fundamental. It's based on respect. And you heard Joel Slack speak, I hope many of you did earlier in this conference. And respect is that fundamental attitude and regard that we have for each other that is not based on anything about that other person, except that they are human beings. Right. Respect is not necessarily something you earn. It is something that you are owed. Yeah. Respect cannot be lost. It is something you have to give away. And respect is really what undergirds recovery. And so I fundamentally believe that this core value must remain the first value of the new department. Last year, when I came here, I heard that there was a concern that someone had been strip searched upon admission to one of our hospitals. I don't know how many of you were here last year and heard that concern. And I didn't have an answer for about whether or not that happened or anything else, but I did know what we needed to do. And what we needed to do is we needed to investigate the situation. And I asked Mark Baker and Sherry Jenkins Tucker to form a group of individuals, and we would form a similar group at the department, and we would look into this. And we did do this. And we looked into the entire admission process from start to finish. Now we discovered that that individual's experience did not happen at a state hospital. And I was glad to hear that it did not happen at a state hospital, but I was still concerned that it had happened. But the exercise was valuable regardless, even though we found that the procedures really did not include anything like that. It showed that we were transparent and open and inclusive, and that we're not running from issues. If there is a problem, we need to know about it so that we can fix it. We're not going to hide it, we're not going to run from it, we're not going to pretend it's not there. Respect requires that we go forward with courage. And we don't have to fear mistakes, we just have to correct them. We don't have to fear having fallen down, we just have to get back up. I'm very excited to be here again this year, and I've now been a little over 2 years on the job, and I'm very excited to tell you that Governor Nathan Deal reappointed me to this position. Yeah. And I'm very glad to tell you that he has a personal commitment to these areas and to making progress in Georgia. He has initiated a review of the criminal justice system. He has set a goal for the state of having mental health and drug courts throughout the state. He wants to decriminalize mental illness and addictions. And he is signing a proclamation declaring September Recovery Month. Now, who would have thought? So there is certainly a spirit of change and expectation and anticipation throughout Georgia that we're going to do things differently, that we're going to change things, that we are going to move forward and go from what one magazine just told me. They just asked me the question just a few minutes ago. How do we plan to go from worst to first? Well, I'm not sure that we were quite worse, but we certainly had problems. But I am sure that we are going to be first.
All right.
Now, to do that, there is a responsibility, and I am glad to share my responsibility with you. You are responsible for the recovery of the state of Georgia. I don't know who else is. If it's not us, who? If it's not now, when? This is my hardest group to speak to. I speak to a lot of people all over the place. But you are the closest to what we're working for, to what we're about, to what we're doing. This is where the rubber hits the road. This is what matters. You are the most important advocates. You're the most important examples of success. You're the most important piece in the hope for this future. We cannot let this opportunity pass. You have got to step forward. You've got to take greater responsibility for your own recovery, for the recovery of others, and for the recovery of the state. You've got to engage your leaders in your communities, in the capital, and you've got to make your voices heard more now than ever. There is a danger that the state can look and say, well, you know, we've done what we needed to do, and therefore it's over. And that is a mistake. We have started what we need to do, and now we must finish. For that, I will lead you. Can I count on you?